Well, the general idea of the singularity can be found in Hans Jonas's essay in certain form. Uh, what's his name? Werner Vinge quotes these two things. I'm just giving you them by yourself so you can think about them. By Stanislaw Ulam in the late 50s, by I.J. Good in the mid 60s. General idea that um, either we have reached, according to Jonas, or will soon reach a point in our technological development that is singular, a singularity, a point of newness, a point where everything beyond it will be different and will be different, so different that we currently lack the tools to conceive of what life will be. We can only imagine, we can only speculate. This is the general idea. Jonas thought that, as you know, that we had reached a point in our technological development where our moral life was completely, not completely, but significantly dislocated, I'd say, because the power of our technology had burst the bounds of our ethics. Our ethics was an ethics that was developed, or different ethical approaches, systems, schools, were developed in a world of the here and now, where the effects of our actions were very limited in time and space, and now we've moved into a period where, because of our technology, choices that we make have global affect the whole planet, and also uh, temporally, extend so far into the future that they're all but permanent. This is an entirely new thing. So, in a way, Jonas was talking about a singularity, and certainly John von Neumann, according to Stanislaw Ulam, these are great figures. Ulam was a Polish mathematician who more or less built the American version of the hydrogen bomb, and John von Neumann was a Hungarian, um, what he was, scientist, computer. He really basically did pioneering work in computer science, invented game theory and things like that. So these were really impressive minds. Von Neumann thought that at a certain point, a singularity in the history of the human race would happen, and everything after that would be different. You know, and so this is the whole idea of transhumanism. That at a certain point, we will become something different from what we are. So different, perhaps, the conditions of our lives or our biology or how we think or what we are, that we are essentially will become a new species, which is not all that different from. It's no different from the past. We've done it before, right? Because evolution is the transition from one species to the other. It's happened. It's the basic theory of life. So, but it is a rather shocking idea that we would become something other than human. But that's the idea, and that's one of the things that Jonas really feared, right? Because he was a humanist. So, in any case, these basic ideas, but it's in I.J. Good's the quote that Vinge takes from I.J. Good that really focuses on what we're most interested in, and that is the role of a artificial intelligence and a superintelligence um, in the singularity, and that's the basic idea, the fundamental idea of the singularity, because the idea is that once such a superintelligence emerges, if it's conceivable, if it will ever happen, it's very speculative. That, as Good says, it will be very, very good at making new machines and new technologies. As he says, it will be the last um, invention that man need ever make, because we won't be half as good. We won't be a fraction as good at science and technology as the superintelligence would be. So, on the one hand, the idea of the singularity is it gives us everything: cures for all our diseases, life extension, cures to social problems like war and racism, hatreds of all kinds. The desperate need we have for solutions to global warming, destruction of the planet, at least the destruction of the habitable planet that we know. All of these things would presumably be within the grasp of a superintelligence to solve. On the other hand, the superintelligence would be entirely different from anything that we are familiar with. And that's a big part of it, and part what we'll be looking at next week, the dangers of it, or the response. Begun just sort of imagining what a superintelligence would be like by giving you this collection of maybe little goofball things from science fiction. Imagining what a superintelligent, what it would be like, how it would think, what it would do. But the whole point is that we can. Which brings us to next week, which is really, well, if the singularity, if an artificial intelligence and a superintelligence are really in our future, or a possible future, what can we do to prepare, if anything, and how would we respond to the emergence of what is essentially an artificial being, which is just better than us, I mean, better at everything in the sense of better.